Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you. I am Matsebeng Susan Maepe, as already indicated. I'm from the Mountain Kingdom of Lesotho, and currently, right now, although I'm in Pretoria for work. So yes, I'm very passionate about youth development and youth entrepreneurship, as has already been highlighted. So today I'll be talking about youth entrepreneurship and how youth entrepreneurship can be used to reduce inequalities and how helping to equip young entrepreneurs helps us to create one job at a time, thereby solving two issues, unemployment and income inequalities. And I'm very happy to be with you all. And I look forward to an insightful discussion. Next. So, first and foremost, a little bit about the Audacious Leaders Network. We are a youth-led organization that was formed in 2022. Um, it began as a passion project because we had realized that there's a lot of young people who need to be equipped with skills that can help them to succeed in life, leadership skills, business development skills, employability skills, and also just advocacy, just to advocate on issues that we feel are very passionate to us and passionate as the youth of Lesotho. So, as the Audacious Leaders Network, we are completely 100% youth-led and use a youth-centric approach. And essentially, our vision is that we want to see a world where youth are co-creators and co-leaders in Lesotho's development. We want to reach a point where, like, we have intergenerational co-leadership, where as young people, as youth, we are actually involved in the design of solutions that affect our day-to-day problems, and not just being handed out solutions saying, "Oh, we think that you should do this. Oh, we have developed this policy for you as youth." We want youth to be at the center of the decision-making process, to be at the decision-making tables. So how we achieve this, we empower and equip youth as well as women with entrepreneurship and leadership skills, and host community engagement sessions, and then also have like community dialogues in order to ensure that we foster sustainable development. And this is regarding issues that I talked about, gender equality, issues such as unemployment, and just fighting poverty and income inequalities. Those are the key areas that our work focuses on. And then this is just the team that we work with. We are currently a youth organization that is just passionate, and we all volunteer for our organization. Thank you. Next. Okay, so just a brief overview, like when we're thinking the rationale, why youth entrepreneurship, we have a program called Youth Entrepreneurship Support Program. This program began because it was a personal challenge that I had experienced. I have an older brother who graduated from university, the National University of Lesotho, more than 10 years ago. And after he finished school, he could not get employment. The youth unemployment that was raging on really left him like with hopping from place to place with an envelope. We used to call it also like have an inside joke that there is the unemployment gang, and he would hop from place to place with his envelope, brown envelope. And eventually I would think, okay, how do I help him sustain? And then I gave him a seed capital to start certain businesses, but then they would always collapse after a few years, like sometimes months, sometimes a year. And I'll realize that this is a challenge that he's not facing alone, but there's more other youths who are facing this. In fact, there's a study that shows that 80% of small businesses in Africa often fail within 2 years of existence. So Lesotho is often, it's no exception. And then currently the unemployment rate is really ravaging the nation, such that we have had the Prime Minister declare a national disaster on youth unemployment. So also the nature of how unemployment is, it means that for youth who are starting entrepreneurial ventures, they are not necessarily having studied business education or business management, but they're coming from various fields. Hence, they do not have like the technical or the leadership business skills that is needed to make or ensure that a business thrives. So this is not just an entrepreneurial venture, but it is a survival plan for them. So the biggest verdict of why a lot of small businesses like my brother's businesses do not succeed is not because of lack of capital, but a lack of skills to successfully manage the business. Can we proceed on to the next? So having realized, can we proceed on to the next slide? So having realized that this is the challenge, we really honed in our program to ensure that we target fresh graduates who are either at ideation stage of their business, or we have youths who already have whose businesses have collapsed, meaning they also need those technical and business skills. And then business obviously youths who already have their businesses running, because they also need to be empowered so that the businesses do not fail. That is just a small picture that shows how this issue is so critical, that the youths were having a mass gathering saying that the government should declare state of emergency on youth unemployment in Lesotho. Next one. So how is our entrepreneurship support program tailored? We provide skills development, business development skills to the youth, and digital skills, which are very essential in the kind of era that we are currently living in. And we capacitate them on workshop trainings that help them to utilize and market their businesses, capacitate them on the operations of the business, the financial side, and everything that can help a small entrepreneur to be able to thrive and survive in this challenging economic climate that we exist in. We provide networking and community building, business networking meetings and conferences, so that they can network with peers within the same industries who can help to guide them and protect and actually introduce them to further networks within the same industry. And then we also provide mentorship or coaching for these entrepreneurs who we work with. They receive coaching from peer industry leaders who can share nuggets of information of how they thrived, of how they manage the landscape, and also learn and share amongst each other. So it's more of like learning and sharing. And then we also provide them with access to funding. Within our project, we also made sure that the best performing entrepreneurs would access some seed capital. And then also we leave them to be investor ready. Make sure that they know they have their own pitch, their business plan, so that when more opportunities come for venture capitalists or banks, or that projects are viable and fundable. Thank you. Can we move on to the next? So what we do as Audacious Leaders Network is essentially to make sure that we reduce the reliance that youth have on formal employment, because as we can see, our government is already strained. And then also we make sure that with the youth that we work in, we really make an effort to target rural youths whose opportunities are very scarce and often do not gain access to such opportunities that the youth in urban places get. And then we empower them to really build resilient livelihoods. There we have one of our entrepreneurs, Tato, who is an agripreneur, and he was able to buy some certain equipment in order to help him thrive. and we can see a wide smile there on his face as he's holding the money. And it really means that the one Tato that we help to empower will then be able to create more jobs for his peers. And therefore, we're therefore trying to tackle youth unemployment as well as income inequality. Can we go on to the next slide? Okay, we have several examples. This is one of our cohort that was graduating in a district called Mohalishoek, which is one of the remote district within our areas. And then we have some of our entrepreneurs who managed to get some seed funding. And sometimes we realize that it's better for us to buy the equipment that the young entrepreneurs need. So we have a picture where we have our young person who we actually bought some of the agricultural equipment that she needs in order to help her business thrive. And the success stories that we've gained from these people, you find that some of these entrepreneurs have managed to feed their villages, and also some of them, we help them with having like climate resilient agriculture, connect them with experts who will help them with changing, with addressing some of those gaps, because Lesotho is also affected by the El Nino drought. So therefore, they help to fight food insecurity, but also helping to address the climate issue. Can we proceed on to the next? So just to conclude what I've just said, um, I believe that youths do not belong in job queues, hopping from place to place. But we, as the Audacious Leaders Network, we believe that as young people, we belong to be there at the decision-making table so that we can craft the policies that will help us to thrive. For instance, the business environment was not enabling for young entrepreneurs to register their businesses. There were a lot of loopholes that we had to cross over in order to have like a registered business. But in with advocacy and helping our leaders to realize that these are the gaps, this is the challenges that we are facing and the hurdles that we face as youth entrepreneurs, then we're able to adjust accordingly and see how do we solve the issues so that we can be able to thrive. And then for every youth that we invest in, it is a solution to two problems: the unemployment problem, as well as the income inequality. And we believe that as young people, the creative solution and innovative ideas that we bring to the table actually bring on sustainable solutions that will further development in our various countries, not just in Lesotho, but the entire Africa. Because as young people, we are brimming with ideas, innovative solutions, and actually have the skills also to put in place what we know we can actually contribute to. And then as young people, as youth, we know that we cannot achieve this by ourselves. So it's very, very important that we gain the solution, the support that will help us to thrive. As youth, we rise when we are believed in, when we are supported, and when we are invested in. And just in closing, I just want to urge all of us to not just talk about youth empowerment, but let us also invest in it. So as the youth, we should remember that no one rises alone. We all rise when we work together. So in just closing, I just want to say in Sesotho, motho ke motho ka batho, which is an Ubuntu saying that means that I am because you are. So together, let's work together to achieve a world where youth are supported and can contribute economically to our development. Thank you so much, Ke a leboha.